Okay, let's continue.
And I believe it's my duty to level with you, to tell the truth, no matter how difficult, no matter how painful. And here, in my view, is what is true. MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution. They do not believe in the rule of law. They do not recognize the will of the people. They refuse to accept the results of a free election. And they're working right now, as I speak, in state after state, to give power to decide elections in America to partisans and cronies, empowering election deniers to undermine democracy itself. MAGA forces are determined to take this country backwards, backwards to an America where there is no right to choose, no right to privacy, no right to contraception, no right to...
Okay, let's pause this. I mean, it's just too much. I mean, the idea that this guy is presenting himself as a beacon of somebody who's protecting the Constitution, you could just lose your mind just on that. The audacity. He talks about right to privacy. Yeah, again, do we want to revisit? Do we want to revisit how everybody's right to privacy was ripped away from them with the vaccine mandates? Do you want to have that conversation, Joe? You want to talk about it? You can come here. There'll be no prompter, sadly for you, but you can come here and we'll have that conversation. 40% of the country is still identifies as pro-life, by the way. I know there's been a lot of talk about how that number is shrinking. It's not really. Every time you have an issue that's front and center, like, you know, the Roe v. Wade issue, you'll see those numbers shift a little bit. And a lot of the opinion on that actually shifted in the direction of Democrats, meaning Democrats who were already staunchly pro-choice became more pro-choice. Regardless, you're insulting 40% of the country with that, right? Saying it's going backward. It's back. Did you not know it's going backward to want to protect the life of the unborn? That's backward to him. Amazing. These people live in an alternate reality. You really have to just think about it like that sometimes. It's like, are we sure they're not aliens? And the audacity to talk about the rule of law. Again, who by and large supports law enforcement? Which party? Who by and large wants to defund the police and stick social workers on the street unarmed? You know, they're just going to ride their bike by a criminal and be like, you shouldn't do that. Do you want to talk about it? Who wants to do that? The brain dead. Okay, the brain dead on the left. Will of the people, again, how many times are you going to... You cannot say these things after the last 2 years. What if it was somebody's will that they kept their business open, Joe? What if it was somebody's will that they sent their child to school without a face covering, Joe? What if it was somebody's will that they didn't inject themselves with something experimental because their own doctor said it was bad for them, Joe? Oh, that's different. Really? Why? Can you imagine if this guy had to face someone, doesn't have to be me, someone like me in a debate? Can you imagine? Let's keep going, Tyler. My blood pressure has risen significantly already, but that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Let's go.
Marry who you love. They promote authoritarian leaders and they fan the flames of political violence.
Authoritarian leaders. First of all, most Republicans, by the way, support you going out and marrying whoever you want at this point. Okay, so that's another, just bullshit line. The audacity to suggest that Republicans like authoritarian leaders. Who, like DeSantis, who spent the better part of the last 2 years trying to undo your actual authoritarianism? Like that? Tell me what's authoritarian about a leader on the right. I want to know. I want to know. If you ask them, that's what you'd get. What is authoritarian? Tell me. I want to know. That's what you need to do with these people. When they say this stuff, because this happens on cable news all the time, which is why I don't have it, because it's useless. Oh, Republicans, they want authoritarian leaders like Ron. Really? Interrupt. How is Ron DeSantis authoritarian? You can be polite. How? What are the policies? Can you delineate them for me? I'm really curious. And then go after every single one of them. Liberalism shrinks when faced with facts. That's why I always say no matter how good the debater, if the person debating you is liberal, they're going to lose. And it's not their fault. It's really not. They could be very well-intentioned. They could be very smart. But liberalism in itself is flawed. It's antithetical to common sense. It will lose every single time if you are on your game. So be on your game. This is not a time to be off your game. Be on your game. Let's keep going.
That are a threat to our personal rights. to the pursuit of justice, to the rule of law, to the very soul of this country. They look at the mob that stormed the United States Capitol on January 6th, brutally attacking law enforcement, not as insurrectionists who placed a dagger at the throat of our democracy, but they look at them as patriots. And they see their MAGA failure to stop a peaceful transfer of power after the 2020 election as preparation for the 2022 and 2024 elections.
Again, this is all he has. He's still talking about this like it happened yesterday. We have all talked about this already. This guy, it happened. He became president. He was in charge of policy. The country is on a downward spiral. And he can't talk about any of that, right? So he's like, well, let me just go back to that thing over there, right? He's like, well, CNN's still covering it. Can't be bad for me to still be talking about it. The View's got it on today. They've got January 6th on today. I mean, it's ridiculous. People, like, what do they not get? That moment has passed. And I say this to Trump, too. Let it go. Let it go. You want to run again? You want to win? You got to be talking about the now. People can't put food on the table. Talk about the now. People are afraid to walk, a half a mile because there's, crime-infested areas in between point A and point B. Talk about the now. The now. This guy's talking about then because he can't talk about the now. What's he going to say? What has he done that's positive? I'll wait. We can sit here. Tyler and I can have a mochaccino and a chat while you try to find something that he did that was good. I want to know what it is. I guarantee you it wasn't good. Because I was looking last night. I like to give credit where it's due. I'm like, what could I say that was positive? Nothing. He sucks. He sucks. He sucks. If you like the short clip, you can catch another one here, or you can catch the full episode right here.